writer with a heart of poet. Hi, I'm Seema Saxena. Today I'm coming with an author who is a poet and a storyteller, Abhishek Goswami. So let's talk. So today we are again with our book talks. So we welcome you all for the book talks by Jashn Events. And today as a guest we have author Abhishek. So Abhishek, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, so I would like to tell the audience that today we are going to talk a lot about Abhishek's journey as a writer, a poet, and also about his two books. Before going for the question, I would like you to introduce in details to the audience.
Okay. So my name is Abhishek Goswami, as Seema just introduced me. I'm born and brought up in New Delhi. I did my schooling and graduation from Delhi only. And then I started my corporate journey working in various firms. Till now I have around 20 years of experience. Apart from working, of course, since childhood I have a hobby of reading different kind of books, watching movies and all. So while reading different kind of genres, of course, I got a sort of inspiration to write something in school, for which I got an award for paragraph writing and essay writing. So I thought I can write. So developing on that habit, I continued in college. And finally, while during my corporate journey, one of my friends asked me that I can write something and give it to him just to check if that can be published. So I wrote a few poems, and then that I got a lot of appreciation, and that's what resulted in my first book. And then I continued writing some other short stories which resulted in my second book.
That's really wonderful, Abhishek. And Abhishek, the next thing I would like to ask, like you have written two books.
Right.
Your first book is a poetry collection, and your second one is short story collection and poetry collection. So can you tell me what was the thought behind it, or there was something in your mind you wanted to change your mind, like writing stories or being a poet?
So good, interesting question. So as I told you, my first book was a collection of poems. Which were received very well, and for which I got some awards as well. But always in heart of my heart, I wanted to write stories, be it in form of short stories or novellas or novels. So I did write 3-4 short stories in between writing poems also, which I sort of posted on Facebook and other mediums where I got good response. So I thought of writing more short stories. But in between, as you said, I wrote many poems as well. So I thought, why not do an experiment? Why not do a collection of short stories and poems both, wherein the reader will get the flavor of both the things. So some readers like the abstractness of poems or poetry, while some readers like the beginning, middle and end of a story, which is very concise. So the second book has around 10 short stories and 23 poems about different themes. And my only thought was that this will be a good experiment, both for me as an author as well as the readers who will get flavors, both the flavors in one book.
That is really wonderful thought, because nowadays authors are stick to one genre only. Even they stick to writing a same kind of genre. Like some are stick to only writing romance, some are restricted to writing thrillers only. But it's a good idea. So Abhishek, my next question will be, while writing these young, like you were first, I would like to call you first a poet. So there were any challenges you faced while writing, poetry or any part from any of your book?
Yes, so writing anything, any kind of fiction, I think there would be some challenges. So for writing poems, the challenge basically is to how to communicate what I am thinking as a poet to the reader or to the audience. So sometimes the thoughts are very abstract. So if it is too abstract, then the readers find it difficult to understand. And if it is too direct, then it's more like a paragraph, it's not a poem. So poem has to retain some kind of abstractness also, so that people can think कि अच्छा कवि क्या कहना चाहता है, right? नहीं तो it will be just a straight paragraph. So that keeping that balance between keeping it slightly abstract as well as keeping it simple for the reader reader. That is one of the main challenge, and also to communicate my thoughts. So that is one challenge while writing poems. While for writing short stories, it is definitely think that there are so many characters, I can bring in many characters, I can build, but it then complicates the story. So my main aim is to keep it very simple so that the readers can understand. But it has to be then very engaging also. If it has too less characters, then it is sometimes very linear. So then it becomes only two characters are there. It's not much masala, not much flavor. While if there are too many characters, again the reader gets confused. कि अच्छा ही character थी क्या? What was the backstory? Why is the character saying like this now? What's its his or her motivation? So to keep the continuity as well as to keep it simple, there has to be a right amount of characters, right amount of plot twist. The normal challenges of writing any kind of fiction or short story. But I really loved writing these short stories, and I think it keeps me more and more sort of mentally engaged. What more I can provide to the reader in form of short stories.
Though this question was not in the series of questions I was supposed to ask you, but because you were talking about the short story and poems, the question raised in my mind that what do you think from your critic reviews, like which was liked most? Like short stories which people were loving more, or poetries which were loved most?
Good question. So till the time I had just published one book, that was a poetry book. I did get good reviews and some other reviews as well. But when I published the second book, then I got different kind of reviews. So now I could compare. So poetry, what I understood from this journey was has a specific audience. Not everybody may like to read poetry. While for short stories or prose, more and more people find it easier to read and to understand because it's more direct, as I said. Poetry is sometimes left to the interpretation of the reader.
Yes.
I have written 10 lines, now you interpret it your way, from your own experience. While short story, more or less will be the interpretation what the author wants to say. But it's direct. Right. So, in terms of reviews, yes, I have got, I think in terms of number of reviews, more and more reviews on Amazon and other mediums from my second book, which was a combination of short story and poems. While for poetry, I got selected reviews, but only from those people who really like to read poetry.
Yes.
So, I think in India, as I think over the world, prose or short story novels have more readership rather than poetry. But poetry has a very niche, very selected audience.
Yeah, we can understand there are reader base, those who are divided. Some are into only poetry,
Right.
but the one who read poetry, they also read short stories as
Yes,
well.
yes.
So we can see
Yeah.
reader base is like a little bit extra for short stories.
Correct. Yes, short stories have little bit
Yeah,
extra.
I would like you to show your books to the audience, both the books, please.
So this is my first book, The Lonely Drummer and Other Poems. It was published in 2017. Like I said, it's a collection of 35 poems for different themes about nature, life, love, spirituality, philosophy, science. So all readers of all age, anyone who understands normal English, 8, 9 plus people till 80 can read this and enjoy this. So for this I got 2 awards from Indian Awards, like top 100 inspiring authors, and Swami Vivekananda Award for excellence in literature. So this was the first book.
And the cover is also very, very interesting.
So this is the second book, Curse of Shiva and Other Tales. So this, as we discussed, is a combination of 10 short stories and 23 poems. Short stories again deal with different themes like friendship, love, betrayal, jealousy. Sometimes some stories are based on mythology, like the title of the book, Curse of Shiva. It's one of the stories, which is the highlight, where the 2 characters think that they are cursed by Lord Shiva, but what actually plays out is the main theme of the story. There are other stories about our lonely house, he is speaking about itself, or let's say a currency note. There are stories about friendship and all. So again, it's anyone who understands normal English, 8 plus till 80 can read this. The poems again have different themes like nature, philosophy, spirituality, and it deals with different things. So this book, like we just discussed, is a combination. And this cover title, I would like to tell you, Seema, that I gave the idea of this cover page to the publisher. This was totally designed by them because they wanted to understand what kind of cover I would want. So I thought this is the main story. So this is a pendant of Lord Shiva. So one of the character wears this and gives it away to another character. As soon as it gives away, the curse falls on him. So that is the story. So जब तक ये pendant था, तब तक good luck was there. And then how that good luck transfers to bad luck to another person. So and then they are speeding away in a car. If you see, I gave some ideas and the publishers liked it. So they thought, and the cover designer whoever made it has done a wonderful job. So that's the book.
Okay. So audience, I would like to tell the audience that book is available on Amazon and also at some bookstores. They can get the book and read and take the, they can enjoy both short stories and poems. So Abhishek, my next question is, what are you writing next? Any new literary project that a reader should look up?
Right. So I am writing. This time I'm trying to write a short novel, which is called a novella. Means shorter than a novel, but of course bigger than short story. But it will be a single story. It's a story about two teenager boys and their friendship and their struggles. However, there is a lot of mythology involved in this. So again, it's more of a adventure story and a mythological fiction, wherein they meet a scientist and they see some dreams about some aliens. So it's more of science, mythological fiction and science fantasy. And then they have to find a lost gem. So it's a story of a treasure under a lost gem. And during the adventure, during the finding, they come across various mythological figures, of Lord Vishnu, the avatar of Lord Vishnu, and how do the avatars help them. So it's more of time story also, because they have to go back in time, come back again, and all that. So basically it's an adventure treasure hunt story of two teenagers. It's currently I think about 30-40% complete. It will take some more time, but whenever it is fulfilled and it's complete, I think it should be a great one.
Definitely. So can you, I'm sure that every author is also a good reader. And you also must be a good reader and you must be reading so many books nowadays. So can you recommend any 3 books for the readers? Even particularly you cherish.
So, like I said, from younger days, I used to read lot of suspense mystery books in English and some in Bengali as well, which is my mother tongue. But top 2-3 is one I would definitely say is a suspense book by Dan Brown, very famous author. Movies have been made of it like Black Target, Chico, those are very famous books. But one book stands out for me. It's called Deception Point by Dan Brown. It's a story of a rock found on a North Pole, and the scientists go there. They think it's coming from another planet, and then how that adventure turns out to be something different. So it's a very, very interesting suspense book. So those who like mystery, suspense, they should read that. Second book from a pure mystery genre, Agatha Christie is one of the top authors ever. She was one of my favorite authors. So one of her books, it's a pure detective story, very detective one. So the book name is ABC Murders. It might be here as well in the cafe. It's a very famous book. Lot of web series and lot of movies have been made of this story. Wherein it's a story of a serial killer, but it's not a very normal story like we see of a serial killer. It's a very different story, and it has been written many years back, I think 80-90 years back. But it still retains its charm. So if anyone wants pure detective mystery without much action, it's more like intellectual cat and mouse game. Serial killer is getting away, how is the detective chasing that? That is one book, ABC Murders. Third is, I think most of the readers would have read, is of Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist.
Yes.
So Alchemist is one of my all-time favorites because of its philosophy, because of the journey of that young boy.
Yeah, it's mine.
So Alchemist, anyone who wants to just understand what is life should read that. And then there are many, many other books, but I think your question wanted 3, so I gave 3.
I just wanted to, tell the audience that because, so many readers are out there and they must be looking for, recommendations. That's why. Though I'll recommend your books first.
Yeah, my books are always there. So, but if you want to read and understand other books, I think these genres would help.
So my last question, or say a message I would like to you to convey to the audience and readers out there.
My message to the readers is that please read. Read my books, read other authors' books as well. Reading is a very good habit, and now the various kind of surveys and all are coming up as well. How does reader help? Reading helps in different personality development. It obviously helps in building vocabulary, building concentration, building focus. It also brings you across various cultures, various characters which you read about. So it actually helps in this global world. Now we are all globalized. We have to connect with so many people of different cultures. So if you have read different kind of books, then of course you will be feeling connected. Yes, I understand their culture, I understand their food habits. So reading is definitely important. So that's one message. Secondly is if you want to become a aspiring writer, then like you also said, reading is definite, and also you have to practice writing as well. So like with any other kind of craft, the more you practice, the better you get. So read and write more and more. I think that's the message from my side.
Thank you so much, Abhishek, and it was lovely having you here at Book Talks by Jashn Events.
Thank you for inviting me.
And best wishes to you for your upcoming project and also for.
Thanks a lot.